Right, I thought I'd take this opportunity to tell you about why I picked what I picked. It's totally subjective. Couple of my criteria is both visual as well as the context to icon, the story part of it. And I find it, I couldn't really decide on the top 4 or 5. They all have merits. And with some of the pictures, I can tell the story straight away. And I like the visuals, and it's obvious to me. Some of them I have to resort to looking at the titles, and some of them I struggled a little bit. And if there's time, can we run through them? 20, I just quickly let you know what I think, what I like about it, and maybe 1 or 2 things that might be able to be changed or improved. If there's any queries or disagreement, as I say, decisions and comments, all mine, so afterwards. So could you, Alistair, is there any chance to run through them for any order? It's fine. Ah. Okay. I like what it's looking at me, but what I don't get for this one is the iconic nature of that. I like the picture, but I can't get the story. So, next, please. Probably ditto for that one as well, and I think the image on my screen, which is not calibrated, looks a little bit washed out. So. Next. I like the graphics and the fact that the aircraft is in a museum, which tells me that it's not in active service. I'll have to check out the story about the Orion. So, next. I don't know what this car is. I like the looks of the car, I like the color, but I feel there's no connection with the background, if you like. So the rest of the picture doesn't give me an idea about the iconic nature of this car. So, sorry? Well, I'm sorry, I'm not a car person. But as I say, I do like the car. So you're looking at a bit of Luddite, I'm afraid, when it comes down to cars. The drives are safe, that's it. But it's a lovely color. Thank you. Next, please. As a picture, I think there are merits in there. I like the simplicity, the sort of ICM in there, and the muted colors. Someone have to explain to me about the iconic nature of this. So, next. My guess, this is Sloane Square, bus number 24 in London. Am I right? Right, yes. It took me a little while because it's I think the names and the letters attracts the eye, so I couldn't get the iconic part of it. As far as the picture is concerned, I like the 2 colors. Effectively, it's the black and white with the red, maybe a crop down the bottom. That might help, but other than that, there's not much anchor to sort of draw the eye in for that one for me. Next. I do like kiwis, but I'm sorry, not a bronze statue of that. I feel it hasn't got the sort of life, if you like. So it's iconic, but doesn't have the attraction for me. So next. Yes, it's iconic. It's somber in some ways, and I like the simplicity of that, but I'm trying to compare with the other picture of Anzac, which has more story. So, to that. Next. Yes. I'm not sure about this one. I think I know what the author is trying to say. There's road work everywhere, and all you see is are these bollards. And I think that's where I stop. And also the two arrows on the right-hand side keep drawing my eye to it. And I felt the story needs another dimension. And so, next. I'm stuck on this one because I felt that what is the story here? It's a museum. Yes. Yes. I think that's where I kind of struggle. I try to read the word to see what the exhibition is. I'm not aware of the content of that, and in terms of the architecture is Doric, I think, isn't it? In there, there's no opportunity to perhaps dampen down the guy on the right-hand side with the yellow coat, because that draws my eye straight away. Will probably be a stronger picture, in my opinion, if it's black and white. So, next. I assume this is Icon of the Sea. Who is the photographer here? Yeah. Again, there's the story that I need about why is it iconic. I'm sorry if it's something iconic about the sailing boat in the front, and the relation between that boat in the foreground and the big boat, if you like, in the back, doesn't say iconic to me. So, but I like the picture though. It's next. I needed more context, I think, in this. I have to resort to the title and read up more about it. And after reading about it, I say, yes, it is iconic in the story of Australia. As a picture itself, there are some merit in the black and white, possibly. For me, I might have preferred a slightly more contrasting rendition, given what it is. Next. This one got into one. There is a light play on the word icon, so there's add that extra bit of side note, if you like. I'm not sure whether the photographer, I think is John, intentionally remove the N in the front to become icon. I thought there's just a touch of humor in there, I think. Next. Recognizable light silhouette, I think is well balanced against a plain background, which to me works. And it shows the outdoor nature of the dogs in the Mackenzie country. So, next. What I like about this pic primarily is its location. So there's a good separation around the salmon or trout, and there was good light on it. So it's a good visual picture, instantly recognizable to me and probably to most people. And the open mouth also pointed to the corner, which then give the a curve, which is quite pleasant. So, next. I think this picture have got bags of potential. There's an echoing of the thumbs up. That's well done. it's iconic, and also the complementary color between the red and the green, and the red dress and the background. So that all works. There's obvious thing that probably should be done with it to straighten that up a wee bit, and also eyes, whether it's painted or real person, directs our eye, the viewer's eye, and so from the woman, the eye goes out of the picture. What I would probably like to see are two things. One is for the sitter to look at the camera. So both the pictures as well as the real person would look at the viewer, and perhaps the thumb that was poking out have a plainer background and sort of stuck out at the end of the shoes. I think this has got a story, it's got interactions. This is support of an icon from a real person. So that's a great picture. Next. I like the composition, the arrangement, also the association. It's got three elements in there. There's the toy, the LMP, and the New Zealand flag, which I think they're all fitting together very well. The improvement, possibly the lighting, and maybe the background. So, next. This one here would be very different if the fountain is not turned on. With it turned on, it's got it showcase a Christchurch landmark in action. So the fountain gives that interaction to its environment. It's got that movement in there against the stillness of the trees, and it's have a darker background of the buildings, which is not modern, and so that all fits in very well. There are some distractions on the left-hand side. I noticed the red at the bottom left-hand corner straight away, so that can probably crop out and maybe crop down a little bit from the top as well. And I think there's a little distraction on the right-hand side, just a tiny bit there. So it's nicely framed by the trees of autumn colors. So next. I like the choice of the leaves. I don't know what type of leaf it is. A plain background. What's that again? A pin oak. Thank you. Right. Thank you for the education. That's really good. Very well isolated, and it's autumn, and which is the first feeling that you get. The bench, I assume that's what it is, and the greenness of the bench add to that sort of a coolness. It's almost like a black and white with a selective color. So I think it's a good artistic picture. So, next. Tate. To me, this picture is informative, probably because I heard of Tate and just got some basic knowledge about him. So it's nice to see the bust or the sculpture of him superimposed on his achievement, and the position I think is well done with the green on the right hand side, which again, if you look at it on the top left hand corner, is the red lettering. So the eye gets to the red, and the complement color is on the right hand side, which is the green. And the necessary information are actually there. And for those who want to, we can read the details. And it is iconic in that sense, with information for us to absorb, well taken and well put together. Next. For most of us, it's obviously this is a keyboard. I like the monochrome treatment and the select focusing with the arrow of the enter goes straight down to the straight down to the left-hand side. And the rest of the lettering on the right-hand side is blurred, so it doesn't distract from the main focus, which is well positioned. So it's well seen and well taken. Thank you. Next. Now, this picture have got story depth and instantly recognizable. It is an event with everything associated with it supporting that event. The red, which comes out to you visually with the lady carrying the wreath and the red high heel shoes, sits very well in the middle and framed by the white socks and the black trousers and the black shoes. I like the fact that nobody is looking at the camera. It's a more solemn occasion. And there are two sets of 4 figures there on the right-hand side with the gentleman holding on to the sort of greener wreath. And there's a line of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that goes across from right to left. And then the other 4, which is in the middle, which is more or less the same direction. But you can see there's 2 parts to that image. I also like the little triangle that's formed on the left-hand side with the sort of supporting cast, if you like, on the left. Possibly crop out the 2 on the left and maybe a little light crop on the right, maybe. But overall, I think it's well taken, well spotted, good angle, and the expression on the people's face is what you would expect on an occasion like this as well. So well done. Congratulations. Thank you.
Just before I sit down, I was looking for judges for the rest of the year. Not that I set out a schedule absolutely, but on looking at the people that attended the judging seminar a few weeks ago, most people have had a go at judging, and there's still a few people who attended the seminar on the list who have not had a go. So my intention is to just circulate the judging issue for the MDC round each meeting, and you don't have to accept, but I will contact you and offer you position of judging. Dennis is the first person who's actually commented in the judging role, and I don't personally, I would not want to make that mandatory, because some of you may not feel confident enough to stand up here and sort of speak to your judging, because sometimes it's quite nice to hide behind it, hide in the dark and see it go through and listen to the oohs and the ahs maybe, if you're nervous about the judging. But if you want to comment on it, I'm relaxed about that as well. So thank you for volunteering, and I'll just be in touch with somebody next on the list. And thank you for your participation in the MDC. We could get a few more numbers next month maybe. If I get everything out early this time, we should be all right.
apologise in advance. You're going to hear my voice all night, so if it's one you don't like, I'm sorry. I've got the job of being MC, and also I'm actually the judge for tonight's print competition, so I'll be reading out the results as well. So, not print, no, your projected image, of course. So do come in and have a seat, and I'll just welcome anybody new who's not been to the club before. Is there anybody in the club tonight who hasn't been here before? No? So all old hands at this work. Excellent. If you've got a phone and it's not switched to silence, please could you do that? That would be wonderful. Otherwise, it's 50 press-ups on the stage if your phone rings, yeah? No, sorry. 30. Oh, $7,000. We need the money, do we? Ouch. $7,000. So, if you need to escape, you know where the escape routes are. Yeah, they're out either side of the stage here and also the front. So, as long as you know where to go, that's good. I just wanted to let you know that next week, June the 5th, there's no hall available to us, so please don't come. We won't be here, and we're having a night off. So if you haven't seen that on your emails, Diana, who sends the emails every week, for which we are extremely grateful, who reminds us of what is coming up and what we should be entering, etc., etc. It's on there. So on the 12th of June, we've got a PI salon. It's the People's Choice. So we're bringing, you can submit those online. Is that correct, Dennis? Oh, it's gone. Good. And also to remind you that the Open Print 3 closes tonight, so you're disadvantaged if you haven't brought your print in, but when you do submit a print, please make sure you submit the thumbnail to go with it. It's really, really important that the thumbnails are there, otherwise they can't take the prints, and that's a bit of a shame if you've done all that effort and forgotten to put your thumbnail in. Cool. By midnight tonight, yeah. So if your print's here, great, but if you haven't got your thumbnail in, please do so by tonight. Lovely. The New Zealand Landscape Salon, the CPS, also closes on Monday the 3rd of June, so that was the old Laurie Thomas the salon, so now it's the New Zealand Landscape Salon. So you've got until Monday the 3rd of June at midnight to put that in. Thank you, Dennis, for the showcase mono, and Janine for running around with the microphone. So tonight I'm going to be reading the results, but before that, Adrian has a request. Where is she? Do you want to do your little request? It's just to see if there's a member of the club who can help her out with a little technical help. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've got an external hard drive where the connection on the hard drive itself is damaged and I can't get anything off it. Does anybody know how to get that fixed?
So
Volumes off it?
What sort of connection?
It's a USB connection.
Yeah, but is it USB 3 or C or what?
USB 3 I found.
Try Vintron. V-I-N-T-R-O-N.
What's that?
It's a guy who, I know you people wouldn't get it. That's what he does.
Vintron, V-I-N-T-R-O-N, will help
Okay.
try and help you. So that's something useful for anybody who has on Yaltest Road who has trouble with their hard drives or their USBs. Yeah, great. So I'm going to come down here and put my other hat on now and pretend I'm not here. Oh no, I haven't. I've got to introduce myself first. Okay, round two. Oh, I've got some notes on my introduction. So, I'm no longer the MC, okay? So now I am going to be introducing myself as a someone who's assessing the work tonight. I joined CPS in 2009, and I've been on many workshops in New Zealand and overseas, learning my skills from amazing people like Sally Mason, Freeman Patterson, Jackie Rankin, Mike Langford and Scott Fowler, Shelley Harvey and Mike White from our own club. These trips have enabled me to explore, play and learn. And I've dabbled in many genres except underwater. And it's an honor tonight to be assessing your work, and it's my intention that you find encouragement and motivation to ensure success on your photographic journey. So tonight we have 39%, 16 images that have been accepted, 6 have been high accepted, that's 15%. Honours, there are 7, which is 17%, and honours and best in show is 1. So we've got 73% of the images accepted tonight. So that was a very, very cool way of, I thought. This assessing is really just my thoughts on your images, and it's if I've got anything that I can help in with you. You are free to come and talk to me afterwards. So if what I said to you just rattles your cage really badly, please don't sit there and be rattled. It's not my intention, but do come and chat or write on the emails to me. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. I like to feel it's an open door. Okay. So there's 41 images, and we'll carry on. So this is Dances in the Mist, School 1, and I've written these things down, so I will be reading out, so I will have my reading voice on. A story to me of nature and man, the dances in the mist being the man-made. I felt this image presented a little flat, and if you boosted the contrast, then maybe the dances in the mist would stand out more. I recommend an awareness around the edges of the frame, as one of the dancers has lost its blades. However, you may wanted it to tiptoe out of the frame. School 1, lurking beneath. An interesting perspective of an eel or fish. The photographer has achieved a portrait of this creature in, I'm guessing, its natural habitat and exhibiting its normal movements. Would it work better if it was to be turned 90 degrees? That way 2 eyes would be staring at you. As it is, I feel it's a little soft, with the white strongly highlighted, causing distractions. When shooting an animal, reptile, fish, eels, always try to get the eyes in focus, as that's where we tend to look at first. Score 2, waiting for a ride. The way the photographer has taken this photo picks up on the symmetry, cutting diagonally through the image. The dark handles tend to blend in with the black dark background, making the lime green and white colors stand out nicely. Clear, clean, and crisp. Having so many scooters allows my imagination to see the bits that have been cut due to a tight crop. Sorry, maybe I should have reread that. In my opinion, I'd like to include the handlebars to give more presence to this image. They all look lined up and ready for their punters. Score 2, first light. There seems to me to be visual design in this image, balance and symmetry between the 2 sides, lovely vivid orange colors with bright center holding my attention. The image makes me feel peaceful. I can see a dark spot on the bottom left third, and once seen, can't unsee it, so I wonder if the author would consider removing it to improve the overall flow. You can't see what I can see, so maybe you can. Okay. Score 2, wheat sheaf meat. There is symmetry in the posts and tension in this image. This holds together nicely as its namesake, wheat sheaf meat. In the title are held together. The wheat heads look even more to me similar to the tops of this image poking through, so the little wires at the top. Good use of black and white to remove distractions. I would recommend the photographer removes the branches to the right, and then I think this image would be stronger. Score 2, doorway to the light. I'm drawn to the silhouette in the doorway and love the tension the camera movement has achieved. My eye is distracted by the two light areas in the right side of the image and suggest a crop to remove, which might make this image stronger. The focal point to me is the silhouette and what's behind it being the lighter areas where my eyes go. The photographer has chosen well to keep it in black and white, in my view, as there's no color distractions and many complementary tones. Score 2, pink ball. I like the way the photographer has arranged the elements to create what I think is a balanced composition. The technical aspect, in my view, would be improved if the ball was crystal clear without the highlights left and right. Score 2, iced cottage. The trees are strong and frosted, and the wee cottage is competing with the trees for the title, in my opinion. The dominance of the trees overpowers the iced cottage, which, given the title is, I'm assuming is the subject or the object of the image. The cottage itself is sharp, but has less ice on it than the trees. It has a lovely backcountry feel to it. Score 2, autumn tranquility. I like the way the author has captured the autumn colours with the reflections in the water. I wonder if the subject is also the boat just resting up after a full summer of fun. To enhance the colour palette and draw your attention away from the bright edges, I would suggest darkening of the edges, a vignette. That, to my mind, would contain the image and keep the viewer's eyes from wandering. Score 2, autumn colours. Lovely colour palette from left to right of the receding trees and their reflections on the lake edge, along with the photographers taking their shots of the tree. I get a sense of warmth with the colours and calm. There is nature and man in this image, more nature than man, so your title works for me. Score 2, ready for irrigating. This image has a balance and story to it. The irrigation structure is well placed in the frame and the circles and lines are at a good angle. It is showing its location well near the hill and the paddock. And the paddock looks like it needs a good feed or watering. What I might suggest to get this image in focus, as it is a bit soft and would be maybe better to use a tripod or post-production to render it sharper. I think then the lines of the fences will come into effect and bind the image together nicely. Score 3, best acceptance. 2-foot curve. The colour orange pops. A silhouette of feet showing the curved lines, and I see triangles formed by the toes and the top orange spaces. Well seen and a good balance played between the dark and the orange. This is a story of feet resting after a long walk, or is the owner unable to move far? Because they look to me like they've done a lot of walking in their lifetime. Score 3, acceptance. I like the focal point, assuming by the title you mean the cyclist and the story of travelling to their destination. The street lights highlight the fog and the sense of dampness to me. I find my eye is scanning the trees and enjoy the canopy over the pathway. I wonder if you might consider darkening the top left of the image, as the light in my mind is a little distracting as my eye leaves the scene. You might also consider a small crop. I don't mind the blurriness of this image as it tells the story well for me. Score 3, accepted, green forest and shapes. The dark lines of the tree trunks and branches create a lot of triangular shapes. When you study further, you can see all sorts of shapes. If the box at the bottom of the image was fully in the frame, this may have been a focal point. Be careful what you position on the edges. You can just see it at the very bottom there. A nice color palette, which, if a little sharper in my opinion, would pop a lot more. Score 3, taking a break. Acceptance. This character seems slightly disheveled, although he looks relaxed sitting on his hand and having a smoko and minding his own business. This image gets me asking questions of his life. The use of black and white works well, adding texture to his seat and clothing. The wrinkles of time are set well on his face. I'd like to see some smoke to add to the smoko and maybe remove the white spot on his face. All in all, a great street shot. It's the white spot's just by his lip, above his, yeah. Thank you. Score 3, acceptance, the joy of leaves. This image makes me think of the joy of playing amongst the leaves. This child is having fun. You can tell by the lovely expression and the relationship with the photographer. To my mind, more leaves, more joy. And I think the title is about leaves. I would like to see even more leaves on and around the child. I think the depth of field has been handled well for this image, and the child in the center works well. Purakanui Falls, score 3, acceptance. I like the way nature has arranged the elements and the photographer has captured them. In this scene, the slow shutter speed has provided a blur to the water, giving a sense of movement and veiling. There are sharp areas in the rocks and some of the foliage. My eye is drawn out to the out of focus foliage on the right-hand side, bottom third, which could have been wind, but it's a little distracting. Overall, well seen, and I'm wondering if you had to hike far to get there. And indeed, I feel it was well worth the effort. I looked it up and it's 30 minutes to hike in, so well done. Score 3, acceptance, untamed. The first thing I see are the eyes. They are a wonderful color and stand out. Then there are catch lights in them. I asked myself, would the image be stronger if she was looking at the photographer and engaging? It's just a question. The way she is looking suggests non-connecting, and that may be what you're after. There appears to be a little white highlight on the ridge of her nose, which you can bring down in Lightroom. Her dark hair frames her face well, along with her top. Score 3, acceptance, flora. This is a peaceful image. The composition with the flower nicely placed in the left-hand corner works well for me. There is a softness to the image, which in my mind distracts from what could be an honors, as there is no one clear spot on the flower. Press the wrong button. Sorry. Score 3, autumnal. I think this image's name is revealing. Yes, the background of vista is very autumnal. Beautiful reflections, which in my mind are broken by the frosted branch on the left, which has a very wintry feel to it. This, to me, distracts from the strong background. Maybe it was impossible to get away from the branch, or that is exactly what you liked. And it's your image, and I'm just assessing it from my opinion. The color palette works well, very strong orange and blue reflected in the water. Score 3, acceptance, mountain stream, Alpha's Pass. This image has a great flow with the stream traveling left to right with a restful slowing down in the top third. The rocks and foliage are handled well, and the slow shutter speed slows the water to give the pleasing whites. I'm particularly drawn to the lovely ice blues in the top third and a little distracted by the force of water leaving the image in the bottom third. In my mind, this unbalances the composition, and I offer a suggestion just to crop off some of the bottom third of this image to draw us up to that ice blue water towards the top. Bless you. Morning shower, score 3. Acceptance. The light on the water bottle and water is the focal point given the title, and that certainly works well. The drops falling into the flowers add to the story. I can see this is a bike full of blooms, which I imagine she is going to sell, and she's setting up a day. The story is great. If that is your story, I might be inclined to remove the car to the right and tone down the fairy lights in the tree behind to make this image a stronger composition. Score 3, windows, 12. A study of windows. The black and white is striking, and it allows the viewer to see patterns, strong lines and angles, beautifully clear. I bounce from left to right with a gap in the middle of the buildings. Perhaps if the photographer removes the 2 light spots in the middle window, which are once seen quite hard to ignore. And in my view, and possibly, a suggestion would be to bring down the top by cropping the gap so that the distance becomes less between the buildings. That way, holding better tension between the 2 buildings. Score 3, fire and ice. I like the way I'm seeing the reflection of ice in this image and the color palette of fire. These, in my view, create attention and intrigue. How long before this fragile wisp disappears? I'd recommend that to contain this image further, the photographer thinks of darkening down the right hand edge. That way the eye stays with the subject. Score 3, rutting wild stag. I find myself imagining what you heard. Seeing the stag's mouth open and doing what he does is a treasure. He is well positioned on the diagonal, and there's a story here. Who's he calling to? An unusual angle to his body adds mystery. If he was in focus more, he would be marked higher. Standing proudly in the Nina Valley. Score 3, acceptance. What an elegant bird, happy to post view in its natural environment. It has a catchlight in its eye that all bird photographers will be after, and good detail in the upper feathers. In my opinion, I feel the tail feathers are a little soft and gentle, and gently let the image down a smidge. I like the depth of field and may be inclined just to darken to the lighter spot to the right of the bird, and the lighter areas to the left of the bird. The texture in the wooden perch and its central position works well for me. Oh, here we go, sorry. I've had a little bit of a glitch there. Okay, we've got something else. Summer, no, we're still on 3, it's Summer Heights. Summer Heights. There we go. Summer Heights. Sunrise or sunset high above the hill, and a story of a lone house or hut. Is this the resting place of someone's abode? It doesn't matter. The photographer has left us to ponder and wonder what is below the fog or mist. It can't be too cold as the smoke isn't coming out the chimney or no one's home, although there's light in the downstairs, which is intriguing. Lucky to be above the mist. Score 4, high acceptance. Is that right, high acceptance? Yeah, thank you. Waitangi Day, Waka arriving at O'Cairns Bay. Unity, tradition, and an all-round compelling piece of history in action. The sense of coming forward towards you and power in their strokes stands out. If the author had the whole boat and people in focus, it would be an honor, as the guy at the back of the boat who is calling the shots and important to the picture is slightly soft. A chance to have a go next, Waitangi? Question mark. School 4, the Lindis Valley, high acceptance. This image to me has balance and symmetry. The hills on each side of the frame leading to the road and journeying to the middle hill and beyond. I ask, am I driving into low cloud and fog as these elements are blowing through the landscape? A big landscape. I'm slightly distracted by the amount of sky. If the photographer chooses, would it be an idea to crop out some of the sky to draw the viewer into the back hills and then back into the frame as the viewer's eyes might find the light areas and leave the image? We are so lucky to have such big landscapes to choose from in New Zealand. School 4, Misty Lake. High acceptance. This image fills me with serenity. The title and image are succinct. There is a nice unity between the islands with the reflections on the still water. I suggest the photographer lifts the whites a little to see if that makes part of the image stand out even more. And one might see, for instance, the track a little lighter on the first island.
You've gone one too far. Go that one.
Thank you. Little Owl, Score 4, high acceptance. This little owl is charming and so cute. Its eyes are sharp and clear, and there's great detail in the feathers. The photographer has captured him well in the frame of the branches or trees. The depth of field is handled well. There is a highlight on the owl's side left feather and a little over-sharpening on the left branch, causing a slight halo effect on the edges. If these were sorted out, this would be an honours. You don't have the same effect that I do on my piece for that. Oh, okay. Score 4, Smoke Rings of a Warbird. There is a great story here. My mind questions, how are the rings created, and is there a meaning behind them? An old plane showing its capabilities, entertaining and strong, or could it be a new plane? Either way, the vapor line loop from the top creates a sense of movement and leading to the plane high above the mountains, which themselves have great detail with the dusting of snow and contrast of the sky highlights. The contrast of the sky highlights this trail. Well seen. Score 4, high acceptance, high dawn, high country at dawn. A story of the dawn light, and I get the feeling of escapism. I want to go there and be on my own and see the magnificent colours and mist and reflections you have captured here. The more I look, the more I'm drawn to the single, almost central tree. I wonder if this image was to be cropped from the right side to those 4 trees, this whole image would feel more balanced. It's a tough call when you have so much to put in. Score 5. So we're coming into the honours. The Fallen. I'm presented with a beautiful composition. The colours, the movement of the water, the debris surrounding the flowers all add to captivate the viewer's imagination with the given title, The Fallen. To me, a story of the last throes of life to a watery demise, enjoying a float down the river without a care or worry. Score 5. Honours, Warbirds over Wanaka. This image tells a story of bygone days, a truly remarkable piece of engineering still active. The hills are blurry, showing the speed of the plane. The plane is sharp, and you can see the pilot in the cockpit with the blue sky through it. I like the light on the wing reflecting the colour of the hills. Well seen and executed. Score 5, Honours, man from Lomanthang. This man is full of character, and you've captured him well, with his mind elsewhere, with his bees meditating and his twirling stick. The composition, clarity and story are handled extremely well, I guess a hard, simple life given the clothing in need of a wash. Well done, Alistair. I'm sure that's yours. Score 5, Honours, Exploring Whites, sorry. I find this image relaxing and soothing. I like the many shades of white and grey with texture in the soft feel of the flowers. The way the subject is backlit on the vase gives it an etheric effect, or ethereal. The photographer has used sharp leading lines of the table to the round lines of the vase and the light rays out to great effect to highlight the flower and the vase. The dappled triangular framing lines add to the whole palette, in my mind, a very peaceful image. Score 5, Core Dude Honours. Sport shot of this action is stunning. The angle of the rider, the clarity of his cool dude sunglasses, and no other distractions. I think to get an honours, the photographer, it has got an honours, sorry, to get best in the show, the photographer would have had to have even more clarity, especially on the front tire, on the knee, on the tarmac, so slightly out of focus, and the lower elbow areas of the leathers. The crop is spot on in my view. Score 5, Magical Hoarfrost. Honours. This image communicates serenity, magic, and peacefulness to me. The frost on the trees is light in colour, feel, and texture. The roll of the foreground to the background trees is like a gentle wave which takes my eye eloquently through the frame. The colour palette is quite vivid, and I might experiment with the use of black and white to create a more tonal balance. As it's presented, I really enjoy what you are communicating to me. Score 5, Serenity. I'm immediately drawn to this little boat. Its emptiness in a vast cave, like an area with a shaft of white light coming in from the right top. I get a feeling of a story of calm and also spiritual guidance leading this little boat out of this chasm. It has a meditative feel to it. The more you look, the deeper you go. Score 6, Best in Show. Congratulations. Venice Romance. I get the feeling of drifting on love and light, a magical experience. You have captured the gondola boat as a single exposure and great focal point. The buildings are taken with either multiple exposure or an in-camera movement. All these elements, along with the composition, color, and light, make this image sing to me. Well done, Best in Show. So we've got some certificates to hand out. Congratulations, everybody. Like I said, come and see me if you don't agree, that's fine. Quite a few to go out here. Oh, 2 foot. I find out who's done all the pictures now, and I thought, ah. So we're handing out these certificates. If you're not here, congratulations if you're listening in. 2 foot curve. Our first one today. Congratulations to John Hawkins for his 2 foot curve. And congratulations to Stuart Brown for winter commute. Congratulations to Timothy. Are you here, Timothy? For green forest and shapes. And running, well done. Awesome. Congratulations to Newell for taking a break. There we are. Just hand that to Alistair if you're listening, Newell. Thank you. Congratulations to Rick Holder, The Joy of Leaves. Congratulations to Anne for, how do you say that? Puranakui Falls. Thank you. Congratulations to Francesca Davies. Apologies, sorry. Thank you. John isn't here, but if you're listening in America, wherever he is, you're expecting John. Congratulations for Flora. Janine McIver, congratulations for Autumnal. Congratulations to Shirley Wilson for Mountain Stream Arthur's Pass. JK, are you here? No. Morning shower. Congratulations. Raywin White, Windows 12. Congratulations. Miss Barnes? No. Not tonight. Fire and Ice. Well done, Jane, if you can hear us. Peter Curtis? No. Rutting Wild Stag. Robin Johansson, congratulations, standing proudly in the Nina Valley. So, Toby. Oh, well done, Toby. That's Summer Heights. Oh, good job. Very cool. Nice work. Waitangi Day Waka from Judy Kirk, congratulations. That might be the second time I judged your picture, isn't it? That's the second time I've judged your picture. Did a C grade, didn't? Yeah. Well done. Lovely. Bonnie Streets Camp, the Lindis Valley. Well done. Congratulations. Well done. Congratulations, Bonnie. Well done. Congratulations to Hishan Kim for Misty Lake. It's beautiful. Well done. And congratulations to our Alan Moore for Little Owl. No wonder we couldn't find him. No wonder we didn't find him. Well done, lovely. Kelly Haybittle's not here, but she might be listening. Congratulations for your smoke rings on the warbird there. Janine Money, congratulations for High Country at Dawn. Well done. Adrian Gentleman, congratulations on the Fallen. Beautiful image.
Congratulations, Adrian. Thank you.
Nicola Jackson, are you Nicola here? Oh, I thought I saw you earlier. Congratulations, Nicola. Warbirds over Wanaka. Oh, yay. Honours, these are honours, guys. Man from Lomanthang, Mr. Alistair Phillips. Congratulations. Well done. Honours. Exploring Whites, Anna Stevens. Not here. Les Armand for Cool Dude, congratulations. Not here. Paul Williams, Magical Hoarfrost, congratulations. Well done. Beautiful. Serenity by Sue Coombs. She's not here either, is she? Sue? Honours for you, Sue, if you're listening. Oh, and this is Ron Williams. I didn't know it was Ron, but he's got the best in the show today. Well done, Ron, if you're listening. Congratulations. This is your badge. Where's the... Not sure where that is. Wonderful.
I just want to say thank you for judging our PO4.
Yes.
And please accept this.
Oh, thank you. Oh, lovely. Thank you very much.
Sure we've learned a lot tonight.
Thank you. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you. Lovely. Yeah. Thank you. There is one more space, everybody, for the Photoshop Basics course. So if you were hoping to go, I've got a different hat on now. I put it back on, right? So if you're hoping to go and you've missed out, or you were slow in getting going, there's one more space for the Basics Photoshop Workshop. It's on the 22nd and 23rd of June, and you can go online to secure your space if you want to do that. It's pretty good. Let me just go and check through these. Watch this space. Oh, and have you all seen your Laurie Thomas Winter School sort of little brief thing coming through? It's like, there it is, but we don't know anything about it yet, what dates and everything, right? So that's quite exciting to look through and wait for that. Otherwise, is there anything out in the open that anyone wants to bring up? Can we just give a big hand to Toby for getting a certificate tonight? Well done, Tobes. Good job. Okay. Drive home safely. See you in 2 weeks. Remember, there's no club next week. 2 weeks' time. Thanks, everyone. Good night.